Let's take you back to one of our top stories unfolding at the High Court in Pretoria. That's where one of the men accused of being involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa will find out today if the charges against him will be dropped. That's Mthokoziseni Maphisa, who's brought a discharge application before the court. Watching the story is SABC News senior reporter Chriselda Lewis, who joins us live once again. And Chriselda, you're still outlining the important context around how we got here.
Well, that's right, Ayanda. We had expected this Section 174 application, which is a discharge application, to be brought by at least one or more of the accused in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. But subsequent to that, only one of them, which is accused number 4, Mthokoziseni Maphisa, brought that application to have the charges against him dropped. You would recall in the arguments that had been traversed by his lawyer, who's Advocate Zithulele Nxumalo, who basically said that there was no evidence to suggest that his client was even present when soccer star Senzo Meyiwa was killed. He also says, you'd recall that the state's star witness was a Constable Sizwe Zungu, who had placed all 5 of the accused at the hostel in Vosloorus on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed. What Advocate Zithulele Nxumalo basically says is that the court shouldn't really take into account Zungu's testimony, given the fact that he says that that testimony was riddled with contradictions, and basically there were no witnesses that were brought to court to corroborate what Zungu had basically told this court. He also said that none of the witnesses had indicated or said that spotted accused number 4, Mthokoziseni Maphisa, at the crime scene on the day of this tragic incident. And also you would recall that Brigadier Bongani Kaninda, who is the lead investigator in this matter, had previously told the court that Meyiwa's then girlfriend, Kelly Khumalo, was the trigger point in this matter. She is the one, who was the mastermind in this particular case. But what Advocate Zithulele Nxumalo is basically saying is that there's also no evidence, that suggests that any monies had been paid to Maphisa. No one, or in terms of the bank records, none indicate that there were any transactions that had been made towards Maphisa in this particular matter. So, the state, of course, you would have heard right from the beginning, once there was an indication that this application would be brought, the state opposing this application, the state believes that Maphisa should continue to be on trial for the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. And what it basically, in the majority relied on, you would recall that accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, had deposed 2 confessions, one to a police officer and the other to a magistrate. And the state basically says that confession basically gives details of how the other accused, including accused number 4, were allegedly involved in this particular matter. You'd also recall that Brigadier Bongani Kaninda, the lead investigator, while he was on the stand, was also asked about the alleged involvement of accused number 4. He said while there weren't, details about how he was allegedly involved, but at some point on that day when the tragedy had occurred, accused number 4 had run inside the house, and when Brigadier Bongani Kaninda was asked to do what, he said the investigations didn't really give them details about exactly what he went to go and do inside. You would know that Advocate Zithulele Nxumalo basically denied, saying that his client was never there, given the fact that Brigadier Bongani Kaninda suggesting that his client at some point had run inside the house. The state also indicating that, where indicated that the defense, in this instance, the representative for accused number 4, Mthokoziseni Maphisa, who basically says that the testimony of the state's star witness, Constable Sizwe Zungu, should not be taken into account because it's not been corroborated. It was riddled with contradictions. The state is also saying that that shouldn't be the case. The state says, in fact, it was Constable Sizwe Zungu who gave details about what he saw on that day. Remember that Constable Sizwe Zungu placed all 5 of the accused at the hostel in Vosloorus on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed. The state basically saying that Zungu gave an account of what he saw, how he saw the accused, what they wore, and basically what they spoke about on that day. So it simply cannot be ignored. So this court will certainly need to take into account all those factors. We're expecting that decision, Ayanda, at 10 o'clock this morning. And of course, you would know that if Maphisa does succeed in this application, the charges against him will be withdrawn. He will be acquitted. But if it is not, it's expected that the defense would then need to begin its case. They would need to call witnesses. But I guess the next big question is whether the defense would be ready. But I don't really want to jump the gun in this matter. We first have to see what the court will decide, whether the charges against accused number 4, Mthokoziseni Maphisa, whether he succeeds in this application to have those charges dropped. And then after that, we'll certainly see what the way forward is. But as I indicated, if he succeeds, the charges against him will be dropped. If he does not succeed, the expectation is that the defense then would need to start its case. What does that mean? It means that they would need to start calling their witnesses. Whether they're ready or not is certainly something we'll have to wait to hear inside court once it starts at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, without a doubt. No matter how this swings, Chriselda, it's certainly worth watching, and we'll be doing exactly that at 10 o'clock. Chriselda Lewis, live to us there from the High Court in Pretoria. For now, thanks very much indeed.